I think about $9,000 in AdSense revenue for this month, and I hope I can hit 10K, so 5 figures before the end of the year. That would be cool in December.
Ladies and gentlemen, today I have a very special guest for you. His name is Hessel. He goes by the name of the YouTube Strategist, and he's been doing YouTube automation for over 2 years now, and he is making a bank. So today he's actually visiting my place here in Finland, and we're gonna go over some of the questions that I have planned for you here. It's all related about YouTube automation. So without further ado, I think it's just about a time we get started. Hessel, how are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Are you happy to be in Finland?
It's cool here, yeah. Finland is an amazing country. It's kind of comparable to the Netherlands, I'd say. Some culture shocks, but it's cool, yeah.
When he's talking about culture shocks, you mean the sauna?
Yeah, kind of.
That's a whole different other convo. But let's jump into the first question and tell us a little bit of your background about YouTube automation. When did you get started? When did you get started? And how long did it get you to monetize in terms of time and videos?
Well, I got started with YouTube in 2020 in April, so about 2.5 years ago now. And I didn't start with YouTube automation right away. I started doing everything myself, like doing the research myself, recording myself, my own voice, editing, thumbnail designing, like everything. So I didn't have any cost because I was 15 years old back then. Now 16 actually. Anyway, didn't have that much money, so I just started doing everything myself. For the first channel, it took me 8 months to get monetized, so quite a long time. And in terms of videos, it's about 600 videos, I think, I uploaded on that one. But for newer channels, I start right now in like similar niches, in a similar space, the search space. It takes me about 4 months to like get it monetized like organically. So that's just because now I have the experience, can find better topics, outsource everything, can just scale much quicker. But yeah, started in 2020 April, and yeah,
I can just imagine you sitting at home at like 16 years old in your room, and you're just like making these videos yourself, like growing the views, you know. You're going to be like, all right, I'm going to be monetized. And then boom, it hits you. You were not even 18, right, when you got monetized?
No, I was 16 when I got monetized.
How did I go with the AdSense accounts?
You can create an AdSense when you're not 18. I was just making a personal account in the beginning because I couldn't set up a company in the Netherlands. So it was all personal income, different tax systems and everything. But, you know, I wasn't making like hundreds of thousands of dollars. So it was not that big of a deal. Yeah, it's still possible to create an AdSense account under 18.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So 2 years now later, how much are you making with YouTube automation, YouTube in general?
Yeah, right now with YouTube, I think my biggest channel is growing like a lot lately. I think it will hit about 4,000, like $3,500 in revenue this month. The second channel will also go to 3,000. It's right now at 2.5. Then some new channels making like two new search channels making about $1,000 in total. So
wow.
I don't know, I think about $9,000 in AdSense revenue for this month, and I hope I can hit 10K, so 5 figures before the end of the year. That would be cool in December, Q4, so high RPMs, so should be possible. Of course, some affiliate marketing, I'm doing that as well, but that isn't going that well lately. Like that's maybe $400 or $500. No, probably less, like $400. So it's not that big,
right.
But it was more before. I've made with the VPN stuff. I'm just gonna say it. Like last year, I made $1,000 per month, but that doesn't work that well anymore. So I should pick it up because like pretty good like possibilities with that. People search for something actively, so you can sell something quite easily, but I'm kind of lazy for adding the links and stuff.
And you and I were talking also about diversification of streams of income, because like, you know, if YouTube decides to just mess your channel up, right, then over a sudden, you know, all of your income goes to zero. God forbid anything happens. So I just want to kind of, it's a little transition here in terms of what you do with the people that you help start YouTube automation as well. So I know you do one-on-one coaching. Then you're going to be transitioning that into some program or something as well.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
in case you want to get started with YouTube automation and you're vibing with Hessel, then I'm gonna leave a link down to his Instagram below. That's the best way to reach him. Just DM him, look at his stories, and yeah, Hessel can help you out with one-on-one coaching as well with YouTube automation. But let's move on to the next step here, and that is, what do you think is the ultimate key to success when it comes to YouTube automation? I know the answer, but probably the person watching doesn't really know what's the key to success. What's that one thing?
YouTube automation is quite wide, of course. I'm mainly experienced with search, but I think it all comes down to, yeah, like the cliches, like not giving up. That's probably not like the answer you're looking for, but for every person who started search that I know of, everyone who did not give up eventually succeeded. So the people who did stop, they obviously are not making money with it, but it's so easy to get started. The barrier to entry is so low that basically like anyone can start. And if you just don't give up, eventually you will find ways that it works. Like it can take a month, it can take maybe 12 months, maybe 3 years, but eventually I think you can get there. Like,
yeah,
just the cliches, I think, but they are true.
Perseverance. I think that applies to many things in life. You know,
of course.
I've been doing on this whole entrepreneurial journey for like 6 years now, right? And it always comes to a point where like, okay, now I found this new thing, it might work, and then you try it and it doesn't work. And then you try this other thing and it doesn't work. But and then you get like disappointed, but that's when you need to kind of push through and continue working, and eventually you're gonna, eventually it's gonna start growing slowly by slowly, but you need to learn a lot of skills as well. But how do you plan to grow? So how do you plan to grow right now? Because I know we've talked about it yesterday when we were in the sauna, but what's the plan for 2023? How do you plan to grow your revenue, your income?
Well, my plan to grow in the first place is just by outsourcing. Like you can never grow to $1 million company or anything like that when you're doing all the work yourself. You need people for that, freelancers, employees, whatever, but you can't do it yourself. So I want to have systems in place, especially with like the first teams I have. They are pretty much completely automated. Like every single step involved is already outsourced. So even from keyword research, the editing, like basically everything is outsourced. The only thing I have to do is manage the payments, which is only once a week. And you can even outsource that. So by doing that, you can free up your own time, invest like money into that, in something what is working, which will generate you money in the long run. And with the free time, you can invest in new projects. For example, for me, that would be building up my personal brand, investing in different channels. I started a browse channel, one of my first browse channels, and I want to start blogging as well in 2023. Websites, basically the same like concept as YouTube automation. You hire a team, you let them make videos, and like in a specific niche having ads are played on them, but instead of having that as videos, you do it in text format, so with blogs. And I know some people that do that, so we have proof of concept, and I think it's a perfect way to diversify your income.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
All right. So if you would have to start over from scratch, what would you do?
Well, of course, it depends on the situation. What I would do is, like how much money do I have, or what is my situation? Am I in a 9 to 5? Am I like completely broke? What is the situation? Because that really differs.
Okay, so let's say a couple of different scenarios. Let's say one scenario you have 0. You find yourself in the same situation that you were 2 years ago, just in your own room doing this thing. Then another situation, let's say for example you have a 9 to 5 job, you have some money that you can spend on a side business.
Yep.
So in those two scenarios, how would the strategy differ?
Well, with the first one, I would just start, and probably if you are completely broke or you don't have that much money, you probably do have a lot of time, especially when you're younger. So invest your time. Try making videos yourself. Basically do everything yourself and don't invest any money into video production because you don't have the money. And like downsides to that is it will take way longer. You got to do everything yourself, of course. It's less scalable, but it does get you started. You get experience. You just know how to do things better. And that's just good to get the ball rolling. And that's ultimately also how I started. But if you are in a 9-to-5, you probably don't have that much time. I would try to save up like some money on the side every month to invest into maybe coaching or into a freelancer team already if you want to start with YouTube. So yeah, it's like a balance of, do I have more time that I can invest or do I have more money that I can invest, right?
Yeah, leverage.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's close this up by giving some advice for people who are watching this and they're complete beginners. They maybe just recently came across, this thing about YouTube automation and, they're researching. What advice would you give to them? How would you go about, just generally, what advice would you give to them?
In terms of YouTube automation?
Yeah, stuff. Specifically.
I think a mistake I made is not looking for help or like thinking I can do everything myself. I know everything myself. Yeah. But often that's not the case. Like too much text on the thumbnails or like the video quality was not good enough. Just all those things. And if it's just a small mistake or you do it a few times, then it doesn't have that big of an impact. But if you do it over and over again, your complete outcome will be just not good enough.
Yeah.
And if I would compare that as a complete beginner to myself right now in terms of blogging, I don't know writing, I don't know blogging at all. How would I start with blogging? I would probably find someone who already does it, who can teach me it. So I think that's what you should do as well. Or you don't have to, of course, if you don't have money. But that is now how I would start, looking for someone.
It's kind of almost like a shortcut, I would say.
Yeah, some sort, yes.
Yeah, but I would agree on that. I would agree on that point that you just said about networking, reaching out to people who are already doing it. You should also join the YouTube Business Academy. There's a free Discord community. The first is going to be the second link down in the description. Also, once again, reach out to Hessel. There's going to be a link for his Instagram. And then also, if you want to get a complete YouTube automation fast track program, make sure to check it out. It's going to be the first link down in the description as well. And with that in mind, Hessel, thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate it. This is the first time we do this live. Yes. Let's go. Thank you guys so much for watching, listening, subscribing, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.